And it's time for day 3 in my new little workout program here. Today's day is squats and bridge combination. So just starting to do a little bit of a warm up here, shifting weight down, back and forth, getting a little more balanced and getting some good hip control on each leg. Really just paying attention to the mind-muscle connection, feeling it in the glutes, the front of the glutes, the side of the glutes, the inside of the glutes, the hamstrings, warming up with some table bridges here, particularly paying attention to pulling into the bridges. Bridges are more of a pulling exercise than a pushing exercise. They push straight down into the floor with the hands and the feet, but ultimately bridges are about how you are squeezing the floor together between your arms and your legs. Narrow squats, I find these particularly helpful for opening up the back of the hips, getting the knees to be controlled on pushing inwards towards each other. When you're doing single leg squats and narrow squats, there's a tendency for the knees to wing out to the side, and it takes a little bit more adductor strength in order to keep them in. So really struggling today here a little bit. You can kind of see with my single leg squats, not the prettiest that I've ever done. This is something that sometimes, hey, you have good days, you got bad days when it comes to your training. Ultimately, with your single leg squats, you want to feel a very stable type of squatting position. It shouldn't have a lot of wobble, a lot of rocking back and forth. I'm paying attention to tension in the calf, tension in the shin, particularly making sure that my hips on my squatting leg are opening up as much as possible. Lots of times people are under the mistaken belief that the reason why they can't squat very low is a limitation in the ability to flex the ankle forward. And while that certainly may be the case, I usually find that lack of flexibility in the hips is the more popular limiting factor in mobility. You should feel like your glutes and your hamstrings are stretching apart as you get down towards the bottom of the squat. I'm also kind of taking it a little bit easy today. Specifically because over the weekend I may be doing some mountain biking or some skiing. I don't want to blast my legs out too much in order to save some energy. This is one of the downsides to the new workout program, because with the old Veterano program, I would do my squats on Wednesday, which allowed me the most recovery from the previous weekend, and it allows me to recover the most from the squats for the previous weekend. But this new twice-a-week schedule, I had to put some squats in fairly close to the weekend at one point. So basically, I'm having one hard squat workout, which will be the Tuesday, and this is the one on Friday, where I'm going to not try and really go for any serious PRs or anything. I'm just trying to work on the technique, work on the tension control, so that way I'm still somewhat fresh. As you can see on my face and stuff, today is really just not a good leg day. I'm not exactly sure why. I have been doing a lot of walking as of late. I've been taking attention to doing a lot more longer walks each day in an attempt to burn some extra calories. I've been getting a little bit softer, eating a little bit too much, so I've been burning some extra calories through long walks each day, and I think that's starting to catch up with me here on this Friday, where, yeah, you see my balance is a little bit sketchy there as well. All right, on to bridges. Paying attention still, again, pulling in. I'm pulling with my hamstrings as much as I can, extending my spine. I'm really working these days on my extension of my thoracic spine, my upper back in particular, and basically just pushing upwards with the arms. I think this is like step 6 or something in the convict conditioning method, where you're just basically working on pushing up off the floor. And then back on to, this is working set number 2 for the squats. And it's always much better on set 2. You can kind of see I'm a little bit more stable. I have a little bit more balance. Maybe I should incorporate some of the single leg squats, just a light set as a warm-up set instead of jumping right into it from the narrow leg squats. And that's something I can try and play with the next week. As always with your workouts, you want to be kind of taking mental notes during your workouts and paying attention to, okay, this is what I'm experiencing with my workout. So what can I do in my next workout to improve and progress? And a lot of times progress isn't necessarily a clear, mapped out point A to point B kind of process. Progress and getting results is always different for everybody due to a number of factors. So I highly encourage you to be kind of self-analytical with your own workouts and just ask yourself, like, how can I improve this next time? How can I step this up? How can I improve my technique? How can I improve my tension control, my mental focus, my warm-up? Whatever you need to improve upon, if you ask yourself, how do I do something better next time? Your mind will find it. Your mind will find some sort of an answer and something that you can try for your next workout program. So a little bit more stable. My right leg has always been the weaker leg. That's the one that I had a little bit of a little bit of a handicap when I was born. My right leg was turned outwards at the hip, so I was in a cast for a few months, and it's always been just something that I've not necessarily struggled with, but it's always kind of been a little reminder that the right leg has always been a little bit less stable, a little bit less weak, but it's helped a lot with single leg squats. It's a lot better than it was before. Once again, last set here, working set with the bridges, setting the tension in my hamstrings, extending at the back as much as I can, and just kind of pressing my head up off the floor. You can see I'm quite a ways away from getting full extension of my shoulders, or full flexion in the shoulders, full extension in the triceps, but that's where I am. That's the level that I'm at right now, and I'll be progressing over time. And then just as a couple of little finishers here, I did some lunges out here on the patio. Here at the gym, we've got this nice, lovely patio that is nice and long for a good round of lunges, paying attention to basically bringing the knee inwards and really flexing hard in the glutes. And then finishing off with some straight leg bridges, or reverse planks as some people may call it, and just holding for about 15 to 20 seconds, trying to get tension throughout my entire posterior chain as a finisher. So there you go. There's my whole workout routine with these 3 videos. I just do each one twice each week. Let me know if you have questions, and check out the video to the left to learn more. Be fit and live free.